Why was the gossip disliked at the coffee shop? She always spilled the tea. Today, I'm going to recap a 2015 action comedy film called Barely Lethal. A quick warning, there will be major spoilers ahead. Prescott is a top-secret government-run school that raises orphan girls into killing machines. These little girls have not known love and have been trained to kill ever since they can walk. The headmaster Hardman teaches them to not have attachments, as it is a weakness for a secret agent. This principle doesn't sit right with one of the top students, 83. 83 wants to have a family so badly, but no one will accept her in Prescott. In addition, she is the best in all fields. This makes her hated by her friends, especially her rival, 84. 83 becomes the first in her class to be activated due to her achievements. Her first mission is to take a briefcase from a man, and she gets it done perfectly within minutes. Being sent on missions, meaning that 83 has some freedom to see the world. But this experience also makes her jealous of the mundane life of girls her age. On her next mission, she takes some me time to gather intels on what normal kids do. Movies after movies, she becomes more immersed into teenage lifestyle. Back to Prescott, 83 is assigned to capture a notorious American arms dealer, Victoria Knox. The assignment disappoints 84 once more. Before commencing the mission, 83 is caught reading magazines during the briefing. Hardman scolds her a bit, but still chooses her to do the mission anyway. Knox is a smart woman who loves to take out Prescott's. To catch her off guard, 83 pretends to be caught and takes out Knox's underlings. She launches a balloon and ties it to Knox before she knows it. Suddenly, a plane flies above them, seizing the rope and sending them both flying. Unfortunately, Knox still has a gun with her. She shoots at 83, making her have to fall into the river below. Knox is brought on board and meets Hardman. They chat for a while as if they used to be a close relative. Below, 83 survives the fall with no injuries. When she is about to answer Hardman's call, the thought of escaping Prescott crosses her mind. She dumps her radio, making her marked as inactive. 83 is finally freed from her prison to chase her dream as a normal teenage girl. To blur her past, she goes as an orphan named Megan Walsh and enrolls herself in a student exchange program. She picks out the happy Larsons to be her host family. Arriving at Newton, USA, Megan is picked up by the Larsons. She awkwardly hugs the welcoming Mrs. Larson and her boy Parker. Liz, the daughter, on the other hand, is not so welcoming and keeps a distance. Megan hugs a random man thought to be Mr. Larson, only to find that Mrs. Larson has divorced. Arriving at home, Megan sees Mrs. Larson's warm gesture and is so grateful for it. Over the dinner, Megan immediately makes friends with Parker, who is obsessed with being a ninja. On the other hand, Liz is so hard to get through. After dinner, Megan is back to her room to map out her cover. She uses pictures of magazine models as her cover and ends up overdressing for her first day at high school. She immediately becomes the center of attention and bullied by the kids. Seeing this, Liz calls her freak show and reluctantly lends her spare clothes. This makes Megan both sad and confused. After changing clothes, Megan nervously waits for her turn to come up to the stage and be introduced. Roger introduces himself to Megan and calms her down. Roger works the stage lighting, and Megan cites the wrong magazine about it, saying that it's only for geeks who can't get into the band. Despite the fact, Roger is attracted to Megan, and he becomes the first person to be so kind towards her. He reminds Megan that the school bullies can be so mean to her. Finally, the time comes for Megan. The school bully Gooch immediately humiliates her in front of the class, followed by the crowd. Luckily, the school star Cash comes to her rescue. He sings her a song, and Megan immediately falls for his charming gaze. All of the girls are also infatuated by him. Cash calms Megan down and joins his band Emoticon. Cash then sings a song with the crowd cheering for him. Lunchtime arrives and Megan is invited by the school cheerleaders to join their table. However, she declines it. According to her intel from Mean Girls, cheerleaders are sneaky vixens who will humiliate her once she puts her trust in them. Megan then comes to her first in-class session. She sits beside Roger, her new friend. They immediately get close as they can relate to one another's puns. After the session ends, the teacher announces that tomorrow, the students will have to sit with their designated partners. Megan fixes her eyes on Cash. As Megan sees Cash going out of the room, Gooch comes to slap her cheeks, but she single-handedly takes him down. At night, Megan infiltrates the lab to change the seating chart, putting her beside Cash. With her ninja skills, she gets it done swiftly and then quietly gets out of the room. In the morning, Megan confidently sits beside Cash, but she ends up fighting over him with some girls. However, Cash is chosen to be the lab assistant by the teacher, as he has a thing for Cash. After the session, the two girls from before inform Megan of an opening to be the school's mascot. Megan knows from her research that the school mascot is only for losers, but the girls can convince her anyway. They trick her into believing that she can get into the backstage and develop a romantic memory with Cash by being the mascot. She picks up the costume and readies herself to perform the mascot dance. After getting the grasp of it, she goes to the audition with her as the only participant. Megan masterfully dances with the property in her hand, doing some flips before ending her performance with a loud macho shout. Of course, she is accepted for the job right away. After some home workout, Megan notices that she is being monitored by a mysterious van. The van even follows her to her school and makes her mind wander. The competition day finally arrives, and Megan is in her Viking costume, dancing to cheer the big day up. Suddenly, some masked men get out of the van and try to kidnap Megan. Despite being outnumbered, Megan easily defeats them one by one, thanks to her rigorous hand-to-hand combat training from Prescott. She even manages to throw her axe to a fleeing kidnapper. Turns out they are students from a rival high school, and they try to kidnap Megan for tradition. Realizing that she has been fooled by the girls, she rushes out of the scene embarrassed. Roger chases after her and tries to comfort her, but the effort is unsuccessful. At home, Megan is frustrated due to her failure to act like a normal girl. She feels that high school is so much worse than her rigorous training. Mrs. Larson hears the commotion and talks to her like a real parent would. She calms her down, saying that it's all a normal thing in high school, and Megan should just stay true to herself. Megan gets back to school with eyes fixated on her once more. However, this time, they are accompanied by hand claps and cheering shouts. The fight that she had earlier has been recorded and became viral overnight. Even the bullies cheered upon seeing her. Suddenly, Cash approaches Megan and invites her to a jamming session. She arrives early and Roger surprises her from behind. She accidentally takes him down until Roger suffocates. As they chat, Roger finds that Megan is weird when she is explaining some martial arts, but Roger accepts it with an honest smile and they continue to chat. Suddenly, Cash and his band come to break the cheerful reunion. Cash steals Megan from Roger and asks for her opinion on his new song. As Megan chats with Cash, she notices that she is not much of a fit with him, but still wants him. Seeing her reaction, Cash invites Megan to Gooch's party this weekend, to which she accepts excitedly. As she walks her way home, a car follows her from behind, and she is caught off guard by the Prescotts. She wakes up tied to a chair and meets Hardman for the first time in a while. Hardman accuses her of working for another organization and intends to squeeze the intel out of her. Hardman decides to inject her with a truth serum. The serum confuses her senses and activates her emotion. With tears in her eyes, Megan confesses that she doesn't want to be an assassin and wants to be a normal girl. Hardman finally lets her go on one condition, that she bids her farewell to Newton and comes back to Prescott as 83. Then, Megan is dropped off in a drunk state due to the serum. She confronts Liz, saying that Liz has been putting up a facade of being a tough, lonely girl. She advises her to pull back the veil and forge true connections with her peers. She says all that without consent before finally passing out. The next day, Megan sits with Roger over lunch. They talk deeply about what they really want to do with their life. Megan feels that she hasn't done anything useful in her life, and Roger comforts her by saying that she has always been impressive in his eyes. Despite the kind words, Megan leaves Roger to sit at Cash's table. Before leaving, she invites Roger to Gooch's party next Friday. Back at home, Liz and Mrs. Larson argue whether Megan is allowed to go to the party after being home drunk last night. Mrs. Larson insists that she should go and Liz should accompany her to ensure her safety. The two finally arrive at Gooch's house. The party is totally crazy with loud music and alcohol, just like what Megan wants. However, 84, who is under the alias Heather, is also there to keep an eye on Megan and ruin her mood. Heather is more socially adept and instantly liked by the kids. Meanwhile, Liz enters a bathroom and meets a drunken Gooch. Gooch knows Liz's name and invites Liz to join the tequila together. Deciding to pull back the veil, like Megan said, Liz opens up to Gooch and joins him. Upstairs, Megan and Heather see the crowd and target one guy, Cash. The two immediately approach him, but of course Cash chooses Megan over Heather. Back to the tub, Liz and Gooch find a lot of things in common and start to develop a friendly relationship. Roger arrives at the party and stumbles upon the two who are having fun. He asks where Megan is and goes downstairs to meet her. Sadly, Megan is kissing Cash and he sees it immediately, making him leave in tears. In the morning, Liz is so drunk that she sleeps on the couch. Cash invites Megan for waffles and feels bad for leaving Liz there. After the party, Liz comes home with a new tattoo on her face. Mrs. Larson is mad at Megan for leaving Liz alone for some breakfast. However, Megan and Liz start getting close after the incident. On her way to school, Megan is confronted by Hardman. He demands Megan's promise to get back to Prescott. He is concerned for Megan's safety, as Knox has escaped from the facility. Megan doesn't want to be a Prescott anymore, especially when things are getting sweet for her in high school. So she insists on not going back. Hearing this, Hardman agrees but promises that Megan will be on her own when Knox comes to get her. Having missed the bus to school, Megan drives with Liz in her car. They finally have a more sibling-like relationship, talking to one another without gaps. Suddenly, an unknown car drives beside them with guns shooting at them. Megan instantly takes the wheel while confessing to Liz. She tells Liz everything about her, about how she was raised and why someone wants her dead. Megan almost hits a truck and takes a hard turn into a car scrapyard. Despite this, the chaser is still on her tail, and she meets a dead end. They continue to have a showdown and eventually get into accidents. Luckily, Megan and Liz survive the crash. Megan checks on the pursuer's car and can only smell Heather's perfume in it. At the hospital, Megan tells Hardman about Heather. Turns out, Hardman didn't send Heather. Hardman believes that Heather has died when Knox escaped. After connecting the dots, Megan realizes that Heather is working for Knox. She asks for her gear back, but Hardman rejects it as she is no longer a Prescott. After Liz wakes up, Megan apologizes for lying and putting her in danger. Megan wants to leave to get the Larsons out of danger's way. However, Liz doesn't want Megan to leave. When Megan is about to give up, she sees Parker's picture of her being a family with the Larsons. She hugs Parker and enthusiastically goes back to Liz to find that Gooch is there with her. After completing the session, Liz goes outside and agrees to fight Knox together. In the morning, Megan briefs Liz on the strategy and they prepare themselves for one hell of a homecoming. They have so much fun together until night falls. The night after, Megan and Liz are picked up by their boys for the homecoming. As they arrive, Liz and Gooch are definitely enjoying their time. Megan and Cash, on the other hand, are a bit awkward without anything to say. Megan tries to make jokes with her pun, but Cash just doesn't get it. Seeing the one person that gets her, Megan dumps Cash right before his concert and approaches Roger. She apologizes to Roger and affirms him that he is the person she wants. Unfortunately, Heather has worked her way to Roger and dates him. Without further ado, Megan incites a fight followed by continuous attacks from Heather. They get into a vicious fight, turning the party into chaos. Heather picks up a metal bar and swings it around skillfully. However, she still can't get Megan. With a fire hose, Megan lands a blow on Heather's abdomen and even pins her down. Heather pours some dust on Megan, making her have to flee the scene. While looking for Megan, Heather reveals that Knox is targeting the Larsons. When Heather is about to stab Megan, Liz stabs Heather's leg with a corn dog and Megan takes her out swiftly. Liz is so proud and excited for what she did. They rush home and take a guard down. Megan enters the house while holding Knox at gunpoint. Over the conversation, Knox reveals that she is the first Prescott, #1. Suddenly, another guard comes with Liz held hostage. Feeling pinched, Megan surrenders and drops her guns. Megan cunningly challenges Knox into a fair fight, and they start right away. When Knox is about to get beaten up by Megan, Knox takes her gun out. Luckily, Parker blows a flashbang, giving a chance for the Prescotts to enter the house. They skillfully take out Knox's men one by one, and Hardman himself eventually captures Knox. Megan hugs Hardman for coming back for her. Hardman finally confesses that he too has attachments with Megan, his beloved student. He also recruits Megan back to Prescott as a deep cover agent and lives with the Larsons. Megan goes back to the party and finds Cash and the teacher getting along, but she can't find Roger anywhere. Roger has been picked up by his dad and is on their way home. Suddenly, Megan comes down with a helicopter, confessing to Roger and inviting him to another date. Roger accepts it, and the two couples, along with Liz and Gooch, fly away with a smile. Megan finally finds her attachments, which makes her life much more precious and worth living. If you enjoyed this video, don't be shy to hit the like button, and if you disliked it, hit the dislike button twice, just to be sure. You should watch the whole movie. Thank you very much for watching. Please subscribe for more video like this.